Hello and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host, Owen, the channel that brings you your team every single day. Well, guys, is Australia everyone's new favourite place to get a manager from? We know the Australians don't play sport, they do sport, they fight and they want to win. We know the Australians are very successful at sport. We know the Australians have a winning mentality when it comes to sport. Unfortunately, we did find out the last couple of years with Ange Postecoglou across the city at Celtic. Now, it seems there were rumours started mainly down under, which some Scottish media outlets have bought into, that Rangers were showing an interest in Australian manager Kevin Muscat. Who is Kevin Muscat? Well, this is Kevin Muscat when he played for Rangers. And yes, he did actually play for Rangers. Those of you who remember him in his short time with Alex McLeish's treble winners. His name's Kevin Vincent Muscat. He is 50 years old. He's actually from Crawley in England, but is an Australian. Rather bizarrely. He is 5'11", he's a defender, but he's not playing now. He is a managerial candidate. During his playing career, he got around Sunshine, George Cross, Heidelberg United, South Melbourne. Then he came to play in England, spent a lot of time in England with Crystal Palace, main part of his career with Wolverhampton Wanderers before making 22 appearances for our very own Glasgow Rangers. He also played for Millwall, and he was very much a tough tackling, no-nonsense defender, right back mainly. Well known for some juddering tackles, some leg-breaking tackles, and being a person who took no prisoners at all when it came to tackling. He also played for Melbourne Victory and again for Sunshine George Cross. He was capped over 40 times for his own national team. Now, he's had a number of managerial jobs since making the progression from player to manager. He started off as a caretaker with Melbourne Victory before being given the job permanently, taking over, strangely enough, from Ange Postecoglou. He went for a very short time to Sint-Truiden in Belgium, where it's fair to say he didn't do overly well, and has been with since 2021 Yokohama Marinos in Japan. Now, look, these are just rumours, and like all rumours, we take rumours with a pinch of salt. And it does seem that, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of lazy journalism in a way, isn't it? Michael Beale's under pressure. Let's get rid of him. Let's replace him with a manager. Let's go and get an Australian manager. Let's go and get the so-called next Ange Postecoglou, because that's what Celtic did. They got Postecoglou. They were successful. Then, they won 5 trophies in 2 years, unfortunately. Let's go and get Rangers, an Ange Postecoglou type in Kevin Muscat. For me, it's a bit of lazy journalism. It really is. And I can see why Australian press have maybe started this rumour with Michael Beale under increasing pressure. Look, realistically, is Beale going to get the sack? I don't think so. I can't see the board having the courage enough to actually sack him at this point of the season. Rightly or wrongly, you may have your own opinions. I know there are some that want him out now, and it does seem that the vast majority of the fan base, certainly the vast majority that I correspond with here on the channel or on Twitter, or and I know social media is not always the best place to judge things, but the toxic atmosphere there was at Ibrox after the game, there does seem a growing disheartened majority against Michael Beale that want to see Beale got rid of as soon as possible. There are still those who back him, and look, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. My colleague Victoria, still backs him. She was still optimistic after the game. We had very different opinions, the pair of us, but we agreed to disagree on those opinions, and we move on with that. That's just the way things are. That's the way things always should be. Anyway, Kevin Muscat's managerial career. Let's have a look at that managerial career. It's not the most impressive in terms of wins and percentages, but let's have a look at that anyway. So Melbourne Victory, caretaker manager, 1 game, 1 win. Then he was there permanently between 2013 and 2019, 214 games, 105 victories, 45 defeats, 64 losses, a win percentage of 49%. Now, look, it's difficult to comment on that because we don't know the competition level in the A-League. I don't know how the A-League is particularly structured. I don't know the type of players he had there. It's a difficult thing to comment on that one. It doesn't, on paper, seem overly impressive. But like I said, football is not played on paper. If it was, we probably have won on Sunday. Sint-Truiden, he was there for a very short time, only 15 games where he won 2, drew 5, lost 8, only a 13% win percentage. Again, we don't know the full facts behind that. He was then with Yokohama Marinos from July 2021 to present. He's had 98 games in charge of Yokohama, 57 victories, 17 defeats, 17 draws, and 24 defeats. 58% win percentage. Overall in his career has a 50.3 win percentage. Now, in terms of his managerial career, he has worked under Ange Postecoglou. That is one thing that seems to be standing him in good stead in terms of his status and his reputation. The fact that he did work with Ange. Look, it's an interesting one. It really is. He started off as a player assistant coach, and then obviously he became the caretaker manager at Melbourne Victory. He was assistant coach there as well. After a guy called Mehmet Durakovic was sacked, Muscat was appointed the caretaker coach of Melbourne Victory, and then was given the job on a permanent basis. His tenure there is described by the Australian media as underwhelming, recorded, but look, at that point, Ange Postecoglou was still in Australian football with the Brisbane Roar, and he took the league titles. In Muscat's first full season with Melbourne Victory, and just his second year in charge of the club, Muscat guided Melbourne Victory to the A-League Premiership Championship double in 2015. The Victory's third A-League Premiership Championship double. Under Muscat, they finished with a regular season record of 15 wins, 8 draws, 4 losses. Were 3 points ahead of the second place team at that point, who was Sydney FC. In June 2017, Muscat was called up by Ange to serve as members of Australia's 2017 Confederations Cup. So he's worked with Ange at international level. He was given a job as St. Truden manager in the Belgian First Division, but only lasted 6 months due to poor results. He succeeded Ange Postecoglou at Yokohama Marinos, and he won the J-League title in 2022. So, as a manager, he's won 2 A-League championships, 2 premierships, and 1 pre-season Challenge Cup. He has, in the past, as I correct myself, sorry, that was his player stats. As a manager, he's won 2 A-League championships, 1 A-League premiership, and 1 FFA Cup, which is their version of the SFA Cup. He won the J-League and the Japanese Super Cup with Yokohama Marinos, and he was the A-League Coach of the Year in 2014-2015. So on the face of things, his stats are massively impressive, and it does seem to me to be a little bit of kind of lazy journalism in terms of let's just get Rangers to do what Celtic did when they were struggling and they just lost a league title. I don't know. It does seem that, like I said, the Daily Record have come out and rubbish these reports. A number of media sources in Scotland have now come out and said there's no truth in these reports. But sometimes, you have that thing, there's no smoke without fire. But hey, who knows? Who knows? It's an interesting one, nonetheless. It was a story I first became aware of on the Glasgow Rangers Nation WhatsApp group this morning when Curry let me know about it. It's been on the Rabble, have tweeted it out as well. It's certainly an interesting one, a very interesting one. There is a move, I think, from a lot of fans to get rid of Michael Beale. Could Kevin Muscat be the man? Well, this seems that he's one person that's been discussed. The other one that has been greatly discussed at great length, obviously, is former Chelsea and Brighton manager Graham Potter. One thing that's always thrown back in Potter's face is the fact that he didn't do very well at Chelsea. But then again, let's face it, who lasts any time at Chelsea? Chelsea is a proper basket case of a club. I mean, look at the moment, they've got Maurizio Pochettino, who is regarded as one of the best managers around, and I think they've won 1 game this season. So, look, I don't think you can judge him on his time at Chelsea. Chelsea, like I said, is a complete basket case of a club. Potter is a very, very good manager. He did a very good job with Brighton, after all. Look, there was a lot of discussion over replacing him. There was a large group of fans who want Beale gone, who think Beale has failed as our manager. So look, at the end of the day, what's the story? I don't know. It really is a tricky one for me, a very, very tricky one. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Who would you have as manager? Do you think Michael Beale deserves more time, or would you replace him with someone like Kevin Muscat or Graham Potter? If you enjoyed the content, please hit the sub and ring the notification bell. And also, guys, if you can, do 2 things for me. Number 1, smash the like. Number 2, remember always. Bye.